Yo, this is DPS Podcast episode number 22. Episode 2 dub out here. This is what we're doing. So we're here. Sorry we're a little late. I'm not gonna rehash why we're a little late, but we're a little late.
We have a role reversal today, that's all.
Well, no, this is not role. This is typical you.
It's a role reversal.
Being late. Typical you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Continue with your intro.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, DPS Podcast. We're going to have a good show tonight. We got some really interesting topics to get into. But before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host, who is late once again, Gaming Forte. How's it going, bro?
Yo, what is up, man? First of all, I'm not always late. It's every once in a while. Today I have
like
a really
every other
good,
week.
Listen. It's gonna be a long night. I already see it.
Hell yeah!
It's gonna be a really long night.
You made it longer because you're late.
I made it longer. Okay, you know what? Shout out to Slow Mo feeling better because of his situation coming out the way that he wanted to come out. So he gonna be in full effect today. I see.
Mean, don't say it like that. My situation. I act like I got an entanglement or something. Nah,
hey, listen.
I had to. For those who don't know, Tuesday I was COVID tested, and I had to be quarantined for 48 hours, and of course, it turned out it was negative. I knew it would probably be negative, but of course, you gotta go through proper procedures, and I mean, I was pretty much quarantined to my basement for those 48 hours, which got me a little stir crazy for a little bit, but finally was able to get out.
Wife bringing you food every day, at least knocking on the door, leaving it at the bottom of the jail cell. You know how it is.
Well, yeah, there was that, which is nice, to just have all your food prepared for you.
Let her know. She let you know that she really cared and loves you. The fact that she was willing to stand 2 feet away from a COVID. Almost COVID reliant person.
Well, you have to understand that she works in a hospital.
It's completely different. It's
not completely different.
It's her job. Wait, hold on. It's her job to do that at work. She does that for free with you.
What I'm saying is that being around people with COVID is nothing to her at this point, because
it's something. If you was to ask your wife if she would rather work around and be around COVID people every day of her life, or be around you for the rest of her life, she probably would choose.
What?
Never mind.
Wow. I mean, first off, you're doing a lot of assuming. Okay, that's a whole lot of assumptions right there. That's for one.
I don't know.
And two, most spouses would not want to be around a virus that could potentially kill them or their spouse. I mean, that should be a no-brainer. If it isn't a no-brainer, then y'all need to go do some counseling. But anyway, Mr. Forte, first before we get into what games we've been playing, let's talk to the chat here. What's up, Missy Dies a Lot? What's up, John E? I hope you related to John B. Sorry,
that's a little later in the alphabet.
That's a 90s R&B reference anyway. Replicant, what's up?
Do you even know some John B songs?
I know one John B song.
What's the chorus?
Someone to Love, I think, is it. That's it. That's all I know.
You sure that's not Tevin Campbell?
That's not no Tevin Campbell. What are you talking about?
I'm just messing with you. I was gonna say.
I'm about to butcher this name.
Somebody sleeping.
Do not stop singing. Stop singing.
Is that what you do to Luca when she starts singing?
No, one, she can't sing and you can't sing. So if you can't sing, I don't want to hear you singing. That's it. That's
negative. Yeah.
Anyway, let me finish talking to the people in the chat. Custodes X. I probably butchered that. I apologize, but what's up to you? We got Asterisk. Man, that name is like Prince, where Prince just turned his name into a symbol. What's up, yo? Racer, how's it going, man? Yeah, the these be the two hardest working men in these gaming streets. This is the truth and nothing but the truth. Of course. But yeah, Forte, what you been playing, bro? Oh, wait a minute. I lost them. Okay, here we go.
Wait. Since the last show?
Yeah.
Nothing.
You played nothing since the last. You fraud.
What? Yes, nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. I haven't. I was joking with Luca yesterday. I called her while I was at work, and I was like, Luca, would you know that I haven't played Destiny in almost 2 weeks? And you know, if I ain't played Destiny in 2 weeks, that means I ain't played nothing.
Man. You might actually have it out of your system now.
No, it's not out. No, it's a brand new season, but then again, I found a reason.
What's new with the season? What's new, really?
I don't know. I haven't done it.
It's not a new season. The same game y'all been playing. There's nothing new here. You know what's new? They called the season a new name. It's the season. The season of the Gambit. It's the season of we stole your money out your wallet again. It's the season.
No, they didn't steal my money. Game Pass, baby.
The seasons are in Game Pass too. I thought that was just
everything was in Game Pass.
Oh, I mean that's a good deal. If you got Game Pass and you're a crackhead that want to play Destiny, go for that. That's awesome.
But what crackhead can get free hits though? That's a free hit every day.
It's not free.
It is free.
It's not free. Game Pass is free.
Man, why you keep saying this, man?
Game Pass is not free.
No, listen, I'm not saying Game Pass is free. I'm saying playing Destiny in Game Pass is free.
No, it
is. Playing Destiny inside of Game Pass is free.
The things that you get in Game Pass, in essence, don't become free because you had to pay to get in.
I said that the Game Pass isn't free.
If I go to an amusement park, no. If I go to an amusement park, right?
Yes.
It's like it's $50 to get in.
Yes.
But all the rides don't have to pay any additional money. Those rides aren't free. I paid money to get into the park.
But they have rides
to ride those those roller coasters.
But they have stuff in. Wait, hold on. They have stuff in the amusement park ride wise that you do have to pay for, even though you paid to get into the park.
What, food?
Food.
Food? He's talking about food?
No, I'm not talking about.
You talking about them trash games where they got the teddy bears and it's rigged against you? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah. Those
aren't the attractions,
but they're games.
The amusement park.
Okay, we're not. But every game in Xbox in Game Pass is an attraction, and you don't have to pay for any of them.
We're gonna put a pin in this real quick. What's up, Tequila Crank? I appreciate you trying to warn me that he had dropped out. Enrique, Enrique in the chat. What's up, man?
Great show yesterday, Enrique.
What's going on? Yeah,
Slow-mo was late as usual. I saw he wasn't there at the time that the show started. What was you doing, Slow-mo?
I was medicated and I was knocked out. Okay.
Oh, you overslept.
No, I was medicated.
And overslept. You probably had your alarm clock set and you still overslept.
Why would I have an alarm? I don't have an alarm clock in my basement, which I was quarantined to. I was on. Anyway, we're not doing this. Back to my amazing amusement park analogy that completely destroys your argument.
That was wrong.
If I go to Great Adventure in New Jersey, okay, I'm at Great Adventure. I go to matter of fact, no, let's not do Great Adventure because all the Great Adventures rides they stole from that amusement park in Ohio. Anyway, the amusement park in Ohio, okay, that's where I'm at. I paid $50 to get in. I'm riding all these amazing roller coasters.
Okay.
I didn't spend any additional money.
Okay.
Were those roller coasters free? Could I just walk into the amusement park? Not spend any money and get on those roller coasters?
Okay.
No, I can't. That means it's not free.
It was free.
we just gonna have to.
Listen,
I'm trying to help
you. Got to buy
I'm
fun. You
trying
got
to
to
help
buy
you.
elephant ears and stuff. Elephant ears are free.
It's the same as I tried to help you earlier today with your whole TV and monitor fiasco. And I'm like trying to get you to understand that you're saving money by not doing all this convoluted stuff that you were doing. And good grief,
shout out the replicant because he said, he came all this way and Forte wasn't on camera. My hair is jacked up. I have a not full. I probably
we can barely tell because your camera's at like 380p right now.
You're at 380p. Well, this is also
this is an icon. Like, what do you? There is no.
Well, you did make your icon blurry one time.
Yeah, okay, but that's not tonight. That's not. Look, anyway.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, you need to tell me how you did that. Did you just like go into Photoshop and blur out your icon?
You know what? I play it. I actually found it really fast, but I can't remember what I did.
But I was like, it's like you just blurred it and then you just changed it and made that your icon for the show.
Yeah. I just made a copy.
It was actually really cool. I saw it. I was like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Listen, so slow-mo at 900p.
I still got that.
It was a good one.
Copy of that icon. I have been playing. Let's see. Of course, I've been playing Rogue Company and being annoyed as hell.
All the cheaters are out now.
Well, I mean, I think I did run into one today, but that's not really the big issue. The big issue that I got right now with Rogue Company is, of course, the quitters. I'm playing earlier today, okay? We're 15 seconds into the match. We're winning. And some dude pulls up the surrender, which has to be voted on. And if you get 3 people, the majority vote, then it's a quit. And of course, no one else quit. But it's just like, why are you quitting now? 15 minutes in, we killed 3 of them. We're winning. What are you quitting for? Another match. We won the first round decisively. Lose the second round. We start losing the third round. They quit. 3 of my teammates quit because we started losing the third round. It's not over yet. Like, why are there what is up with these people? Why do these people have zero competitive edge? Why are you playing a competitive PvP game and you are not competitive? Dude, go play Animal Crossing. All right? Go play something that does not require you to compete against other people. Play a single player game. Stop playing my games, okay? Because I'm tired of getting matched up with y'all losers. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm sick and tired of it. It gets on my nerves. I can't stand it. I'd much rather not get matched up with someone who has that issue. Taz says I should have sent him an invite. You know what? Next time I'm gonna do that, bro. Next time I'm on, I'm gonna hit up the DM, see who's up, see who's playing, so I can get some people who actually can, one, shoot a gun accurately, and 2, won't be trying to quit 15 seconds into a max. So anyway, I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, but not too much. I need to get back to Trails of Cold Steel. I keep saying that and I keep forgetting to do it. I did actually boot up Anthem for a little bit, but we can talk about that later.
You wanted to reminisce?
No. I mean, it was mostly due to me wanting to have footage for my video that I was going to, talk about that and the fact that EA might be pulling the plug on it. But we'll talk about that when we get to the topic. But the other thing I've been playing is The Division 2. And it's got I've been playing it for a few weeks anyway because they came out with the season they go up against Fei Lao, who is the big bad right now. And with the manhunts, they always have like these teams that you take down with the leader of that team. You have to take down all of their lieutenants before you get to the leader. And Fei Lao's the leader for this group. I'm on the last part of it, and if anyone's finished it, don't tell no spoilers in the chat because I haven't finished. Why
does it sound like a Street Fighter character?
Fei Lao? I mean, because it is kind of close to.
Isn't it?
No. It's not Stay Loud. I think Mortal Kombat. Isn't it Kung
No, it
Lao?
is. No, it is. No, it is Street Fighter. It's like, I forget what it's like, Alpha or something.
Oh,
It's the guy that got the
right.
hat on, and he does it. Like, he has a really crazy moveset. I can't think of his name.
The hat. That's still Mortal Kombat, man. The dude with the hat, Kung Lao.
No. He has like a weird looking hat.
It's been a while since I played fighting games, anyway, so I don't care. Racer says no. It's a slow-mo mentions no PC exclusive games.
Felong. Oh yeah, he looks like Felong. That's
let me mention some PC exclusive games that I have been playing or will start playing. One is
you play nothing but console games.
What? No,
I thought you only play console games now.
Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense.
That's what you were telling us. You said
that's clearly not what I said. I've been playing Valorant with some of my homies.
Ooh.
Valorant is a
keyboard and mouse.
Keyboard and mouse. It's native keyboard and mouse. There's no controller support unless you add a mod. And I just think, you know what? I want to get better at keyboard and mouse anyway. So I just went on ahead and just started playing. I'm getting better at keyboard and mouse now. Finally. The aiming is fine. It's the movement with the keys that still kind of like trips me up. So I've been playing Valorant, and then there's this new game that I want to try. That's kind of like Souls-ish, but it's more of a survival game with like Vikings. A lot of people. Oh, by the way, it's Steam exclusive, so it's PC exclusive. Racer, and a lot of people have been talking it up. Apparently, just it's only been out for early access for a week, and it's already got like 1 million players. So I want to give it a shot. I don't really know if I'm going to be super into it because I'm not really into survival games like that. But usually when games blow up like this, then those games are usually pretty high quality. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay. Let's see, but I mean that's about it. I still need to play Trails of Cold Steel. Every
you bought
day.
It and didn't even install it yet at least.
Thank you, Replicant. Valheim, that's the game. That's the game that everyone's playing now. I started Trails of Cold Steel. I have this issue. Okay, this is what I do. I start games and I'm like, all right, this is cool. I'm gonna finish this game. But then I play something else. And then it's hard to go back to that game. Like, for example, Ghost of Tsushima. Last year, I started Ghost of Tsushima. You know what? We're not going to have your ridiculous slander right now for a game that you did not play.
It must be trash if Slow-Mo Backslap didn't continue to keep playing it because
that would be like 99% of the games out there.
Because Slow-Mo Backslap finishes games that he thinks are great.
I do finish games.
Why you've been playing Ghost of Tsushima? Like if this was Spider-Man, you would have beat it 3 times by now. So what's going on? You must not really be feeling the game as much as you think you are.
No, that's not it at all.
Well, tell me. You explain.
Okay, so this is why. Okay, so my PS5 is not in my office. During the day when I work, in my downtime with work, I get assignments done when I'm waiting for like someone to get back to me with something, or I'm waiting for a download or upload to finish or whatever. I'll play games. This is a way for me to kind of like get some gaming in on my PC when I don't have that. So I don't have my PS5 in my office. My PS5 is out in the other bigger part area of my basement. Hooked up to the 4K TV. Usually when I end up playing my PlayStation, it's late. It's after I get done with the podcast. It's always after the kids are asleep. And so if it depends on what I feel like playing at that time. Like another thing I did on my PS5 was I already had the Division 2. And I had finished the Division 2 last year, the main campaign, and then I uninstalled it. But when they came out with the next gen patch, I was like, cool, let me try that out. Very weird patch of the PlayStation 5. I feel like they removed the night and day cycle because every time I'm playing it, it's never nighttime. and it also doesn't have any of the fog effects or any of the screen space reflections and all the other bells and whistles that are, of course, on lower settings on Xbox Series X, but of course are amazing on PC. But it's weird because I don't know if they just forgot that stuff. It's not like the PS5 isn't capable, so I don't know why it's not there. But regardless, I have gotten as far as I can in the Division 2. I've made it to World Tier 5. What I need to do now is get Warlords in New York so I can go from level 30 to 40. But Warlords in New York is still $30 on PSN, and I'm sorry. The Division 2 is my game, but I refuse to pay full price for an expansion that's a year old. Are you serious? Come on,
man. People out here doing it though.
Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. I started Trails, and I got through the prologue, and I was like, yo, this game is fire. I'm excited for Trails because it's like so many of them. Like I'm playing the first one, and there's like 2, 3, I think 4 is coming out soon on PC. I think it already came out on PlayStation. So I got all this content to get through, and I just don't have the time. And so yeah, but I'm gonna get through it. I just got there are games on my backlog that I need to just finish, and Ghost of Tsushima is one of them. I'm in Act 3 of Ghost, so I'm literally at the end. It's just I finished the you don't know anything about this because you ain't play it, but one of the side characters story arc. Yeah, big slander. You deserve it too.
Why do I deserve it?
Because you talking bad about a game that you didn't play.
I didn't talk bad about it.
I said
that because of you not playing the game.
Trash.
Yeah, I said trash because you didn't finish the game because it's not.
Oh, so the game's not trash. Me not finishing the game is somehow trash.
It's trash because you play it because you play the game and you talk about the game. Like, game's great. The raids are amazing. The games are amazing. But then again, you like 6 months later still ain't finished it. You like Luca out here.
It wasn't 6 months later. It's literally been 1 month. I've been playing the game consistently for 1 month. And you all like. Yeah, I think
1 month. If this was Spider-Man, you would have been done 3 times already. For Spider-Man,
this is a longer game than Spider-Man.
Listen,
it is.
I said you would have been done with Spider-Man 3 times. Spider-Man by itself was like a 20-hour game.
Well,
explain yourself.
Explain? What was there to explain?
Explain yourself.
I did not go through Spider-Man again on PS5. The remastered, I played halfway through it.
The normal
then
one.
I figured out how to get my trophies.
How many times you beat it on PS4? How many times you beat that game?
1.
How many hours you put in?
Probably about 30 total.
How many hours you got in Ghost right now?
I have no idea.
Probably not 30.
You know what? Didn't they add with PSN hours?
They sure did.
All right, let me try to check.
Pull up those stats, man, because I guarantee you probably only got as many hours as you have in Spider-Man.
I think I have more hours. I think I have more hours in Ghost.
I hope they find a way to decipher sitting in the menus versus actually playing the game.
First off, I don't doze off like a narcoleptic like you do every 5 minutes. So I don't fall asleep with the game and whatever. I don't want to hear this crap. Game library.
You actually turned your PS5 on.
No. I'm on the web browser.
I was about to say because it's probably choking from all the dust it's got on it from not turning it on for 2 weeks.
I had my PlayStation 5 on yesterday. And this morning, actually.
For the first time in how long? What, a week?
Why am I being interrogated by you? What have you played on PlayStation?
I haven't played. I told everybody all the time that my PlayStation hasn't been turned on in 3 weeks.
Silence is what I want to hear from you. You play games, then talk to me.
Just tell me how many hours you supposedly have.
I'm trying. Here we go. Finally, it said last played Last played February 9th. That's one.
2 days ago. Got you.
You know what? I probably would need to see it on PlayStation because I don't see, or maybe on my mobile app. Whatever. Look, I put a lot of time.
No. Where's your PlayStation at right now? Is it upstairs? Is it in a room with you right now?
I told you, I'm my. You don't listen at all. I'm in my office.
Heard you. I don't know where you. I don't know
my
where
PlayStation is on the other side of my basement. I'm not leaving.
So where's your Xbox? Where's your PC at?
I'm on it.
Okay, you're on your PC. So why isn't your PlayStation in the room where you so-called play games at? Because it's not your game. It's not a gaming system.
I do both. I do gaming on the couch and I do gaming at my desk.
Which one is better, PC or PlayStation gaming?
What do you mean, the couch or the desk?
Which one's better, the desk or the couch?
I don't have a preference.
You don't? Oh. That's a good answer.
I could do both.
I was really setting you up for some slander from Racer, but it is what it is. Go ahead, Slim. I'm not gonna chastise you anymore.
Good, because
you're on shaky ground to do so. At least for another 20 minutes, probably.
You're on shaky ground to do so.
I'm just saying. Well, you know what is up here saying that Ghost of Tsushima is this great game, and then you literally have less hours in it.
How do you know?
I'm just no. I'm just saying you're saying it's this great game, and you have less hours in that game than you have in Spider-Man.
You don't know. How do you know that? Matter of fact, you go on the PlayStation app right now. You look at my profile and you look at how many hours I have in both games.
Where's my? Oh, my phone's in my car. I'm not going out to my car. You can't see it on the website.
No, it doesn't show on the website.
Don't you got the app on your phone?
My phone is half dead right now. I'm just trying to. Get it charged.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up after the show, and I swear to God, if you got less hours in Ghost of Tsushima than you do on Spider-Man, I'm gonna.
Well, first off, of course, I'm gonna have more hours in Spider-Man. I actually did.
No. So you actually do,
because I platinum Spider-Man, and Spider-Man. One of the trophies is New Game Plus, so you gotta play through the game again twice in order to get that trophy. So
wait. You just told me you beat the game once though.
On PlayStation 4,
but
I got it on PS5, and I did it again.
Once again, like I said, you just answered. Thank you for coming to thank you for clarity in the situation we were talking about. All I said was you keep talking about Ghost of Tsushima being this great game, but yet you beat Spider-Man, a game that you absolutely love, already twice, and you still struggling with trying to beat Ghost of Tsushima a month later.
Struggling. Where's the struggling coming from?
Well, it's been a month. If this was Spider-Man and you were redoing, you beat Spider-Man within the first week that you had your PlayStation 5? You beat it again, right? The first week. You've been playing Ghost of Tsushima for a month. And you still haven't beat it. So what does that tell you?
One, I ported my trophies over from the PS4 to PS5, so I doubled up my trophies, and then I got all that additional playtime in progress. So I didn't have to do as much. I literally went through. I don't care what Race is saying right now.
Just said Slow-Mo just got himself convicted for fraud.
What am I frauding on? This is like the Race just say stuff that don't even make sense.
Look. We can move on from this conversation because I finally got you to come out and actually just say, because you literally said I only beat Spider-Man once, and I'm sitting there like, no, you beat it on 2 different platforms, and you still struggling to get through Ghost of Tsushima, but you say it's a great game.
It is a great game.
That you're not taking the time. If it was a Slow-Mo, if it was a great game to you, I'm just going off of your high standards, sir. What's up, Blackheart? I'm going off of your high standards, sir. Your standard says when you say something's great, I know when you say, because you will know life something that's great. Now, it might be a good game, but it's not this great game that you say it is in your eyes, because you would have been done with this thing a long time ago. You would have found a way to like know like this. You would have told your wife to bring your PlayStation in the basement while you was under 48-hour quarantine and did something to play that game.
This is what I'm talking about. You don't listen. And so you say these ridiculous things because you're not listening. How many times have I told you my PlayStation is already in the basement with me? So while I was quarantined in my basement, it was here.
So why didn't you finish that game over the 48 hours?
Division 2, which is something else I told you in this.
So the division. Wait. So the Division 2 is more important than Ghost of Tsushima.
You know, here you are once again making.
Yes, I know. Wait, and I know you were, and I know you were making a video, and I know you were making a video. So you were playing that to get some footage to make a video because I did see your video.
I used the footage. Yes, it was. That wasn't it either.
Okay, but well, that's even worse. But like I said,
no, it's not even worse. This is the reason why I decided. So like, people were talking about playing the Division again.
Yes,
and I'm like, I don't have an Xbox anymore. My Xbox profile is up to date, but I don't have an Xbox anymore, and I'm not going to use my son's. I would love to play with people on PC, but I barely know anybody that played the Division 2 on PC. There are people out here, whatever. First, this is one. You don't even have it installed. Shut up.
Actually, it is installed.
Okay, and 2, you haven't even completed the main campaign.
Now the updates might not be installed.
Hours to get up to where I am in order for us to even play anything relevant together, which is the reason why
I
paused on Ghost to play Division 2 so I can get up to speed with other people who I knew were playing on PlayStation so that we could play like content.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's when I realized, oh crap, I didn't buy Warlords on PlayStation. All right, let me go get Warlords. $30. Why is this still full price? Bump that. So that's when I went.
Oh, it has Stadia prices.
Oh yeah, they on Stadia prices. I'm just like, why is this still full price a year after this came out? Come on, like, why do you want people to play this game or what? So I'm like, all right, it's whatever, you know. So yeah, I was playing it on PC today. Anyway,
it runs great on there. Hey, let's get into the show, man. We derailed each other long enough.
And yes, Gregor, that is true. Isn't the Division RE content time? So Slomo will have to play it now to earn the skins. That's also true. As well as, I'm not quite sure how long the Fail Out season event is going to go for. So if it's they're gonna they did come out, and I guess we could talk about that a little bit sometime tonight, where there was this concern that the Division would be dead. Because Massive was doing the Star Wars game as well as the Avatar game, and who has the bandwidth for 3 different games. They're still working on the Division, although I think some of the other like secondary studios are going to be more involved than Massive Entertainment.
I don't know, man. I think the Division gonna be like Anthem in a minute.
No, they've already came out and said that's not the case. But they haven't talked about exactly what they're going to do. So I think there'll be a state of the game at some point within the next 2 or 3 weeks, because now that they come to the end of the seasonal content, they gotta explain to people what else is in store, and so they're probably going to do that soon. But I'm not quite sure how long the whole Fail Out hunt is going to be out there, so I kind of wanted to go ahead and get that done. Greg says Warlords was $8 a few weeks ago on PSN. Son of a,
it was really cheap.
Let me go on my rant again a little bit, okay? Just a little bit about how I'm always missing out on these. Like, okay, so I missed out apparently on Warlords being $8. Thanks, PSN. But then Tales of the Borderlands, okay? Tales from the Borderlands. So Tales from the Borderlands, I got the itch to play that again because it's like one of my favorite Telltale games. It's awesome. Great music, great story. It's a great game, period. If you haven't played it, I would say a few days ago, well, tough luck, because the game is delisted since Telltale went under, and the new Telltale apparently was in some kind of legal battle with Gearbox in regards to getting the game out there. So I'm out looking for this game. It's not available on PC. I had it on Xbox, but again, don't have my Xbox anymore. I'm looking for it on PlayStation. I finally, after countless hours, tracked down a physical copy of Tales from the Borderlands on PS4. Got it from a GameStop. From some GameStop out in, like, I don't know, freaking Antarctica or something. They sent it to me. Took forever. I get it. I'm like, cool, awesome. I'm gonna play this game. I still ain't played it yet. I'm going to play it though. The announcement comes out yesterday. Tales from the Borderlands is going back on the market. February 17th. I'm like, son of a... I was on Twitter talking about how I wanted this game. I tagged Gearbox like, hey, you guys should bring this game back. Couldn't the Twitter account say, hey, slow-mo, hold on, stand by, something? No, they didn't say anything. So I went and bought the game for no damn reason, and it's going to be available in another 6 days. So mad.
It's okay. You buy games multiple times, so it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm and all that said, I'm still gonna go ahead and get it on PC on the 17th. I'm gonna get it on PC. Yes, Replicant. It's an awesome game. Yeah, and because it's back now, if you haven't played Tales from the Borderlands, do yourself a favor on the 17th. Pick it up on whatever platform it's going to be available on. It's probably going to be available on everything, even trash Google Stadia. So yeah. All right, so let's get into the show. Oh man, nice little warm up there. 30 minutes of us arguing as usual. First topic on hand though is Microsoft creating a subsidiary called Vault for the Zenimax acquisition. So Forte, you've been kind of like really out of the loop on a lot of things dealing with your acquiring a house, and again, congrats on that.
Thank you.
I sent you something about this. Did you read that? Did you take a look at it? Also,
I did.
Did you also see the video that Hogue Law did on it? Because we talked about this briefly over the phone, but I think this Hogue Law video really kind of like open my eyes to some things. Have you seen that? Because I sent you that too.
I read through the link you sent me. I did get a chance to watch Hogue Law's video, and I'm mad because I always watch his video because he really brings a lot of clarity to things that people don't really truly know.
Right, because he's a lawyer, and he actually has worked in law, practiced it in this kind of stuff. So for him,
go ahead. I can definitely tell you without even looking at any of this that it isn't the fact that Bethesda's being renamed. They're not renaming anything. I mean, that I can tell you that without even knowing anything about what's going on. This is just more of another incinerator that they're going to just basically release those games under. Like, I think me and you talked about this yesterday. This gives them even more. It just makes it even more of a possibility that these games could release somewhere else.
That's not it. This is what's going on.
Go ahead, because I didn't. Like I said, you watched the video, so go ahead.
Yeah. So look. I'm not a lawyer, so whenever it comes to these kind of things, like I'm like the same way. I'm not a developer, but I know I will talk to a developer, behind the scenes and find out like, well, explain this to me, explain how game engines work, explain how you guys do networking. I'm a network engineer, so I that's interesting to me. Explain how you do networking for games and the whole back and forth. I that's why I know certain things about things, not because I am a dev. I'm not, but I will talk to a dev to find stuff out. So whenever it comes to situations where it's like I'm completely out of my depth, I go talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. Now, I haven't talked to Hogue about this, but I did watch his video that explained it very, very well. And so I lean on someone's who has expertise in a particular area in order to inform my opinion on what's going on. And so, when this stuff came up, I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. What is this Vault thing about? And I recall Hogue also was the dude that was explaining to people when Microsoft, when the news came out that Microsoft and Obsidian Entertainment had a letter of intent out, there were people who were like, this means nothing. They intend to buy Obsidian, but it doesn't mean that Obsidian is going to be bought. And of course, that seems logical to people who don't have a background in law. But then Hogue came out and was like, no, this is pretty much a done deal. You don't even get to a letter of intent without coming to a verbal agreement on the acquisition. They've agreed to a price. You've agreed to taking all their assets, all that, how things will operate. And then everything from there after the letter of intent is all the legal stuff of making sure that so-and-so didn't lie about which IP they actually owned. They didn't lie about how much debt they have or yada, 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 that kind of stuff. So, but it's a done deal at that point. And it would take something egregious to change it at that point. Now, I say all that because the dude's, he has, even though his Mass Effect opinions on games is completely off the wall and ridiculous.
Yeah, asinine.
Yeah, asinine. He thinks Mass Effect Andromeda is the second best Mass Effect game. Great lawyer, terrible gaming opinions. But when it comes to this stuff, I'm going to lean on his expertise. And his expertise, this doesn't mean anything.
Right.
The way he explained it, he said this is a reverse trajectory merger, is what he said. And the way he explained it is this. Microsoft created this shell subsidiary company called Vault and named it because, of course, it's like, some of the Fallout.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. They created it so that...
Is this the whole Monopoly thing?
No. So that has nothing to do with Monopoly.
Okay, go ahead. I'm definitely lost now, so go ahead.
Yeah, so this is more about not getting entangled with legal issues. And considering how big Microsoft is, the way it's looking probably is that Zenimax has some debts. And you create this shell subsidiary so that when the shell subsidiary merges with Zenimax, all those debts can be paid through the shell and not being paid through Microsoft. So because Microsoft has a lot more to lose, but the shell corporation called Vault has got nothing to lose because it didn't exist 2 months ago. So it's like we create this so that it assumes any legal issues that you have, any debts that you may have, maybe even any taxes that you owe, all that stuff. It takes that on, and when it's all cleared out, it merges into Zenimax. Zenimax is still Zenimax. The name Vault goes away, and then now you are acquired by Microsoft. That's how it works. So, I mean, that's how I interpret it to work from Hogue. If Hogue, later on says, hey, Slow-Mo, you really butchered that. You got close, but that wasn't it. But oh well. But that's as far as what I understood from it. So none of this means that Zenimax, Bethesda, and all of those 8 studios aren't going to be under Xbox Game Studios. That isn't what this means. None of it means that those games are definitely going to other platforms that aren't Xbox or PC, or they definitely are. It doesn't assume any of those things. We're still at square one with that. They could put all their games everywhere. They could do case by case, or they could have it all exclusive to their own ecosystem. None of this changes anything. So really, this is more of people not really understanding how business acquisitions are and assuming that it means something that it doesn't. I mean, this is very something like we talked about this. EA is doing the same thing with Codemasters. They created a shell company to handle the same things. But when it's all said and done, when the deal has been approved, Codemasters is going to be under EA.
Under EA.
Yeah. So that's all this is.
When you put it that way, it makes sense, because why take on and incur the debt of a company? So basically what's happening is the shell company will just basically absorb all that debt, and then as that debt is settled, then they can just bring them into the Microsoft ecosystem.
Yeah, that shell company owned and under Microsoft would then be merged into Zenimax, and then Zenimax is directly under Microsoft.
So what happens to the debt then?
All that stuff's going to get paid off.
That's what I'm saying. They still got to pay it off.
All that stuff will get paid off before.
It's just the fact that they don't have, any holdings to Microsoft themselves. Like, they can't go after Microsoft's money
exactly
because Microsoft has a lot more money.
Exactly. Yes, it's protection. You've created the shield to protect yourself.
Get it. Okay, so if I think about it's just like if you're in credit card debt and stuff. It's like, since it's you, they have the option of either taking you to court and saying you owe this and we want all of it, and they can garnish you to take it, or B, you can pay it off at a cheaper rate. So like if it's $4,000, they say, well, we'll settle this deal for $2,500, which is a $1,500 discount. If they look at Microsoft, they say, you can settle this debt in full. We don't need to give you any type of discount because you're Microsoft and you have the money to pay this debt. So if they make this shell company can get a discount on the debt. They're like, hey, we just want this debt settled. This is how much we want to settle it for, which is probably 40 to 50% cheaper than it would be just to settle it in a normal manner. And since they're not tied to Microsoft at that point, Microsoft can take their war chest and say, okay, that's a good deal. We'll pay it off in the name of that subsidiary. And then once that's taken care of, they can merge everything together. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And then also you can look at like their earnings calls. Like that debt isn't something that is officially under Microsoft. So therefore they don't have to go to their investors and say, well, we incurred all this debt from that Zenimax deal. No, you didn't. I mean, you did technically, but it wasn't really you. It was your still. So that's how apparently this works.
That's crazy that you can actually do that though. That's legal.
Look, there's a lot of stuff that's legal. That's crazy.
That's legal. It's like in my eyes, Microsoft is about to own Bethesda. Not no vote. They ain't about to own Bethesda. Microsoft's about to own Bethesda. There is a press release out there saying Microsoft is in talks to own Bethesda. And the fact that they can still say, oh, no, we don't own Bethesda. This other shell company that had nothing to do with Bethesda before we created it is going to incur all the debt for this company. So you can't come after our giant pockets to get the money that you think you want to have. That's crazy. But then again, that's big business and that's an American way.
Right. I mean, even though it's not really just an American thing, this is big business for
big everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere. They're not even filing to get this acquisition approved in the United States. They went to Europe to do it, which is probably an easier route there than here, because they wanted to get it done as quickly as possible so they can get on to other things, other acquisitions, and get the ball rolling on how it's going to work and stuff. What do you say?
America got a lot more other stuff going on than trying to settle acquisitions for $1 trillion companies.
Yeah, true. But so that is the case with everything. I hope I explained that as clearly as I could. I probably butchered it. I'm probably gonna get comments after the show saying slow-mo. Don't quit your day job. You do networking, and stop trying to be a lawyer. And I'll be like, you're right. Never said I was, but I just watched some stuff and then I thought I picked it up. So yeah. Anyway, that so did you watch that latest trailer for Black Myth Wukong?
I did. Oh my god.
Bruh. Oh my god.
Yo.
Okay, look. All right, so here's my question to you, because I've seen some people propose this. I've seen it a lot. I haven't seen it from just a few people. A lot of people are asking this question now. Is this game for real? Is this a Watch Dogs 1 situation? Is this a Division 1 situation? Is this a Anthem situation? Is this a Cyberpunk situation? Are we being punked here? Is this game really what it looks like?
Look, man. Look. Look, the funny thing is, how often do they make a trailer in 21:9 aspect ratio? Think about that. That video was made in an aspect ratio that most people don't have, to show off more detail in that game than people have ever seen. And I did see, because ever since I talked to you and we were looking at, you were asking me how far behind I was. I said, well, let me go do a little bit of research, because I don't want slow-mo carry me through everything. And I was looking, I was like, dang, everybody up here basically saying that, dog, is this real? And it just seems like because this is all coming out of Asia, right?
Yeah, this is from a studio called Game Science. It's another Chinese developer.
Is it part of the China Hero projects and stuff?
They aren't officially a part of the China Hero project, but they should be.
They should be.
They absolutely should be. Yeah, but they are. I mean, that first video they came out with was more of to promote the game. It's like a 15 minute gameplay reveal, and they wanted to try to recruit more developers to help get the game where they want it to be. Now they've already done that, and now at this point, this game is it's the hype levels on it is out there.
So the only thing about this game, okay, so people want to say like the fact that it looks like gameplay is what truly makes people feel like this looks incredible, because they're showing camera angles that would be in gameplay. I mean, there's no HUD or anything, so you don't know if it's going to be a HUD-less game or something, but it looks really good. But it's hard to sit here and say, yo, is this game truly going to look like this when it comes out?
Okay, so here's some details. The game's running on Unreal Engine 4. This is 4. This is not 5.
Yeah, this is 4. Yeah,
it's 5 isn't really even out yet for developers that aren't Epic. So this is Unreal Engine 4.
Look how I'm looking at the trailer right now. You see this giant fox-looking thing at the
yeah. Are you? Because I got it running in the.
Oh, I didn't know you were. I was watching it on my. Shout out to the ultra wide.
Yeah. So visually, it looks better than it did when they first showed the game.
It does.
Yeah, and the lead developer for this even said that he there was graphically some issues that he didn't particularly care for in the first reveal that wouldn't be a problem going forward. But I mean, these big boss battles, right? Oh, man, these enemies.
But it's just, man, like the video that you put into the Brap chat. What was the name of the game? Starts with a D.
It's the one with the girl who's fighting the mech. Yeah.
It's like all of these games have like this template where it just.
They're very
fast-paced games.
They're not trying to a particular template like Lost Soul Aside. Lost Soul Aside's combat is like this, except it don't look this good or this polished. But yeah, they all kind of fit that template where that's how, and maybe that's just what works, the foundation of how game development is in China. And I think what was so shocking about it is that this is coming from developers that people don't know about, and it's partially due to the fact that we don't know about them. It's because they're Chinese developers, and they really haven't had the opportunity to really, show what they could do up until now.
Did he just do the thing like wipe his nose and tell him to come on at him when he walked into the frame?
Yeah. Look, this. So
that looked good.
I think this game is for real, and
Have a good night, Replicant. Thanks for coming through, bro.
Oh yeah. Take care, Replicant.
Replicant says, "Have a good one, slow mo. Make sure you finish Ghost." Facts. I
will finish Ghost extremely soon. When I finish Ghost, I'll let you guys know how I feel about the full experience.
Please. Make sure you post it on Twitter so people know.
We'll do.
And wait. And Racer said, "Why was Forte?" I meant to mention that. Why is Forte hating on Sony so much today? I wasn't hating on Sony. I was hating on Forte. Forte, good God.
Yes, you were hating on yourself. That's it. No, that's it.
You know what? Just move on.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate
it. Move on. I just walked into a buzzsaw.
This is why I say like this game is for real. Yes, of course we didn't see a HUD, we didn't see like health levels or anything like that, but I think the game will come out to be very close to what we saw, or maybe even look better, because we don't know how far out this game is. I did see something that said like 2023 or 2024, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It being 3 years out, 2 or 3 years out makes sense. And also, people got to understand game engines are evolving. And what is capable now, a decade ago, we didn't think was capable in gaming. When we were going into last generation, I remember people saying things like, man, that Order 1886 don't even look real. But it was real. That was a real game. People were saying things about games that, it's not possible to have a game look like that. But then we did get games looking like that. Eventually, it takes time. And so when you get into a new generation, there are updates to game engines. There are new toolkits for developers to get used to get familiar with. There's hardware firmware updates for the hardware manufacturers to get their consoles running more efficiently. There's newer GPUs and CPUs being dropped every single year.
True.
Stuff's going to get better. It's going to allow the hardware is going to allow the developers to be able to achieve what their vision was for the game from the very start at a higher clip. We talked about how Unreal Engine 5 is, that Lumen in the whatever demo. People was like, oh, that's amazing. That's 4K. Nope, it's 1440p. It's people are going to start to understand, and that was done by a small team at Epic, and it took them like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
that's on Unreal Engine 5, and no other developers have their hands on it yet. There was, and I said this to you too, there was that demo they did. I think I might just pull it up now, where they showed their facial animation technology, which is next level. I have yet to see any facial animations like this in a game. Hold on, let me find it here. Whoa, that's loud. I don't want that to be. Give me a second. But yeah, this is these advancements not only are looking more realistic, but what they're also doing is that they're making it capable for smaller studios with less manpower to do those same things. When they did, if you look at the videos that Epic showed about how they did that Lumen demo, when they showed like some of the most impressive stuff. What's up, Luca? Some of the most impressive stuff about that demo was how the rocks were photorealistic. It looked like real rocks, in a real canyon. But all they did was take pictures of some rocks and just drag and drop those rocks into the game using the game engine, and it's there. And I've seen developers were talking about how typically you would do that, and then you would have to, because it's too much detail and it's too many pixels for the memory that you have, and which now is so much better, and or too much for the engine to allow, they would have to dumb it down. They would have to take out some of those details in order to make it work, and that would take time. Right. But you don't have to do that anymore. These games are going to take less time to be made by less people.
True.
And so that, I think, is going to be something that we can't wrap our head around it now, because games that look like that come from teams that are like 200-300 developers. And so there's just no like real world comparison right now to what we're going to be seeing. Here we go. Here it is. I mean, just like that isn't, we've seen this before, like similar before, but we've normally seen it with like static stage cutscenes, where it's like, oh, here's a cutscene, and it's usually something like Naughty Dog that's doing it, where their animation's top notch, they're the very best at it, and it's a AAA studio. This is Epic's MetaHuman AI technology, and because it's Epic and it's Unreal, everyone's going to have access to this. So, yeah, I mean, look, I say all that, and I show this just to get people to kind of understand that Black Myth Wukong can be possible. Shoot, everyone was so amazed with Hellblade 2. What's that running on? Unreal Engine.
Yeah, Unreal Engine.
And the team that's doing Hellblade for Ninja Theory ain't super big either, because Ninja Theory ain't that big. They're getting bigger because of who they're owned by now, but
owned by the sauce.
Yeah, so I mean, it's I think the game is going to be impressive. I think the big issue would be is if it plays the way that it looked, and I think it probably will, considering like a lot of those games seem to have a similar gameplay style, and it normally delivers. So shout out to Game Science, shout out to Black Myth Wukong. What we got next on the docket, man?
Well, I guess we can. We were talking about. Let's go from a gaming topic to what was happening in.
Yo, hold on. Check this out.
What?
Look at this.
Oh, I see.
Dizzy. How is that anytime I jump in, there's Frostbite slander, or what sounds like Frostbite slander? Forte, did I even mention Frostbite? I didn't even mention it.
I think he felt you coming, so he wanted to jump ahead of it before you got started.
Preemptively stop the slander.
That's why
it's not slander. It's not slander.
Shout out to Dizzy, man. I love Dizzy. Shout out to the Iron Lord. Shout out to that family. But yeah, let's go from a gaming topic and transition to some stuff.
Since he brought up Frostbite, let's talk about a game that's running on Frostbite.
Wait. First of all, how you gonna ask me what's the next thing to talk about? Then you just pivot again.
Well, this is called what do they call it?
Go
The
ahead.
term, the official term.
Are you talking
segue.
about? Yeah, so it wasn't you that segued. He did.
Well, I used his comment to segue to the next actual topic that we had. Were you going to do a segue?
Slow-mo.
Were you going to do a segue?
Slow-mo. Run the show.
If you weren't going to do a segue, I don't even see why you're complaining right now.
Slow-mo. Run the show.
Can I segue now?
Run the show.
All right.
Yeah, just like you say you're going to beat Ghost of Tsushima. It's a great game. Okay.
I'm gonna choke this man.
Ooh, so easy.
Okay.
So
All
easy.
right. So anyway, the segue to Anthem, a game that runs on Frostbite.
Is segue? Is that a like a
why are we talking about this? Huh?
Do you ride? Is it like a Segway or a Segway? You know, because there's one that you ride on. You know, you put 2 feet on it and it takes you where you wanted to go.
Forte.
You lean forward to go forward. You lean back to go back. You lean left and right to go in circles.
Forte. Stop.
I'm just asking a question. People in the chat might want to know what a Segway is.
No one, everyone knows what a Segway is, but you. We are all on page 86 and you on 42. I need you to catch up, okay?
You might want to go back. You might want to go all the way back to the table of contents because I think you all in a complete different part of the book.
Anyway, Anthem, unfortunately, might be done. EA is deciding this week, and since it's Thursday night, this meeting probably has already occurred.
Happened.
And we just don't know yet. But it came out through, of course, investigative reporter Jason Schreier, who has 3 sources with BioWare that told him that EA is deciding this week on whether Anthem Next is really going to be a thing or whether they're going to dissolve the entire team, fold them into the development studio teams that are working on the next Mass Effect and the next Dragon Age, and just forget Anthem ever existed. Now, Forte, before I go into how I feel about this, you tell me what you think about this here.
Look, man, I guess this might be the last time I say it, but you know, we went down as a team when it came to this game. We were one of the few soldiers that stuck with Anthem. We said, man, Anthem is good, it's fun, it's great. And then we got to that, and then we got to that end game, and we was like,
funish.
It's a funish game with no substance at the end. It's like you ain't got nothing.
All the guns look the same.
Yep, all the guns look the same. All the weapons pretty much do the same thing. I mean, outside of the functionality that you had of the different suits and stuff, it was just a bland experience. Like I always tell people this, the experience of playing the single player game was the best part of Anthem. But once you got out of that, look, playing the single player was fun.
The story didn't make any sense. The
I'm not
was
bland
and boring. Your protagonist is a nobody.
Listen, I'm not talking about the story in general.
Is a mannequin.
Listen, we're not talking about what made
make any sense. All the side characters are boring, and you can't remember none of their names. Not a single one of them. Everyone's forgettable.
We're not talking. Listen, I look at Anthem,
the cutscenes didn't work. So half the time you would like the cutscenes would cut off in the middle of it, and you would get to the next part. You'd be like, "What am I doing? I don't understand what's going on."
Are you gonna let me talk some more?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're sorry. Okay. So, like I said, the story was the best part of the game, not because of the story itself. I know it makes you want to throw up.
I'm choking every time you say that because
the story, the single player, because I felt like the single player was what was the best way for you to learn how to play that game. And then it taught you everything you needed to know about the game. The story didn't; it was lackluster as heck.
My ears burned every time.
But overall, the game was enjoyable to the point where it was fun enough to actually finish the story. So, just saying that the story was the best part, the single player was the best part of the game because it taught you the things you needed to learn in the game that made it an enjoyable game. The problem was when you got past all that and all you had was just the game. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was like what is my motivation? What is my ambition in this world? What was the name of the world? That's how bad the game was at this point.
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember the name of the world.
I just know they keep having cataclysms, and I don't know why.
I just know it was a thing called the Anthem of Creation. That's all I remember. The game was terrible. So look, I think this is a long time coming. I think EA is as much as we think EA is about, all the money they can make in the world. They ain't about throwing money away. And who knows how much money they put into development of Anthem in the first place. And then on top of that, into the second part of Anthem Next or Anthem 2.0 and this ain't, and people don't even realize this.
They put a lot of money into that. Honestly.
Well, some people don't even know that this is the third iteration of Anthem. Like, there was another part of Anthem that came out and it just wasn't up to snuff. And they went back in and said, yeah, we're just going to like go into the lab for an extended period of time. We'll see you guys in 2-3 years. And guess what? They're not going to keep making or developing a game that's already failed. And at this point, unless they change the name of the game, the name of the game is already sullied. It's no reason for them to continue down this road. I think they're just going to come out on Monday or Tuesday next week, and they're going to be like, due to, whatever, we're basically moving on from Anthem. The team that was working on the game is being allocated to different other things. Different projects. Thanks to the players and the Anthem community that supported the students' endeavor, the servers will still be up and running, but there will be no further updates for this game. That's what I kind of think the next Anthem report is
basically like the bleeding edge announcement.
Yep, and guess who's going to give it to us? Your Anthem. I'm looking forward to your Anthem's take on this.
Oh man, I feel bad.
If y'all don't know who your Anthem is, he's like
he branded his entire channel off of this dead game. Good grief. I got 3 points to say here.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your points?
First point is I do agree that Anthem is going to get dusted. They're going to pull the plug on. It's already on life support. The body has already given up the ghost. This is more of the family, allowing this husk to still be on a breathing machine, pumping oxygen in and out of something that's not even alive anymore. Pull the plug. It's a wrap. It's a wrap because I thought they had more people assigned to this. Apparently they only have 30 people working on this, which shows to me that BioWare and EA still don't understand what is necessary to make a actual good looter shooter. Let's look at your competition here. Destiny has 800 plus developers, and yet they still needed 2 co-development studios through Activision to get their content out on a consistent basis. The Division has been made with 6 development teams, and the main one, Massive, is 650 developers. You got 30. What are you doing? You have 30 developers to do what? To spitball ideas, but still not be able to actually get them done because you don't have any manpower? This is why this decision, it hinges, if they actually get approved, they're going to triple the staff to 90, which still isn't enough. And not only that, it's not going to mean the game's going to get revitalized. They have this thought. They've seen Final Fantasy 14, The Realm Reborn. Oh, they did it. They see Hello Games as No Man's Sky. Oh, they did it. They came back. They're not you. There are very different reasons why they came back. One, Square Enix is far more invested in the Final Fantasy brand to allow Final Fantasy 14 to just basically die on the vine the way it looked initially. So they had the time and the manpower to invest in making sure that it got better. Anthem is a brand new IP. Don't nobody give a damn about no Anthem. Keep it a buck. The name wasn't even supposed to be Anthem. It was supposed to be Beyond. No one cares about this game. So there's no history. There's no brand that EA or BioWare have to fight for. It's a failed idea, a failed project that didn't work. Hello Games. Hello Games had no choice but to make No Man's Sky better. What other games do they make? And what other games did they have to look forward to? Nothing. If they didn't make this game better, they might as well dissolve and go on about their lives. Because Hello Games' name would have been worth dirt if they didn't do what they did. BioWare has Mass Effect and Dragon Age, as well as a treasure trove of other IP that they could revive and do a remake of, and that would be better than trotting out Anthem. They don't need Anthem. That's the second reason why this just won't happen. Now, that said, I don't like the fact that they came out and were promoting this Anthem next without having the full all in on from EA from the very start. This is like, essentially, this is the second time y'all just straight copping a squat on your community again. The first time was with this is the third time, because the first time was with that lie of a trailer that you showed everyone that got everybody hyped up. The second time is when you launched the game that was nowhere near that trailer, nor was it nowhere near ready. But you thought it would be okay that everybody who played the game would just sit back and wait for you to fix it. It's nonsense. And the third time is you saying Anthem Next is a thing. We're going to fix the game. Here's screenshots of everything we're working on. You guys say you guys wanted the inventory system. You wanted to see a better way of looking at your characters. You wanted skill trees. We got all that stuff. We got all this stuff coming up. But you didn't even have the full say-so to make that work. You didn't even have the manpower to make it work. This is once again you showing gamers something that's fake, that's not real. Only for you now to be like, after you showed the gamers everything, let's get this approved. Oh, it can't be approved. Whoops, whoopsie. The hell is that? What, for a studio whose reputation has been scarred, you're not doing yourself any favors with this. You should be trying to do anything you can to recover the kind of reputation that you had prior to your missteps. But instead, you still have proven that you haven't learned anything. Now, my last point on this is that
I love how you I was like, he's still got another point. He's still going. I was listening. I was like, where's the third point? Oh, he's still on number 2.
Slow-mo has a way that they can fix this. And I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how they can fix this.
Why not? You talking about a way to fix it so they ain't got to cancel the game?
Yeah.
Oh man, they're gonna cancel this game.
I have a way for them to fix this and bring them the game that they had originally intended it to be back in 2013. So originally, the game that Casey Hudson had put together before he left the first time was a sci-fi survival game. The mech suits, the javelins, all that stuff was the same, but it was survival. And you would fight like huge monsters, like the size of the enemies in Shadow of the Colossus or whatever, like huge enemies you would fight. And you would have to survive against them. The point was to go out into this dangerous world and survive as long as you could, and you would get more loot, and then you would get stronger. It wasn't it wasn't a looter shooter. It was more of like an RPG, but more survival and not necessarily so wrapped up in kind of the way they did RPGs before. It was a little bit different, but still a little bit somewhat grounded in what they used to be, what they used to do. They can take a page out of Square Enix's book and blow up the world. So with Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV was such a trash heap. They just blew up the world and said, it's all gone. We're starting over. And then they made it better. But they made the start of the reboot of it. They interwove it into the narrative to make it work. And it did. It worked great. That game people love it, right? What BioWare could do is BioWare could say that these cataclysms that are in the world, your javelins, you can even have a big event around it, the way Destiny be having big pointless events. Have a big event showing the cataclysm destroying your Fort Tarsus and the whole map, destroy all of it. Everything goes up in flames, your javelins gone, all that stuff gone. And when it's all said and done, your character is left to pick up the pieces, and you got to rebuild a new javelin, and you got to fight in this world that is now post cataclysm, dealing with all these new monsters that you got to deal with. And now you have the original game that you set out to do to make in the first place. You ain't got to worry about being a looter shooter. You ain't got to worry about live services. You ain't got to worry about having different weapons and making sure that you have a looter shooter that is comparable to Destiny and Division. You ain't got the staff for that crap anyway. You could have it, call it Anthem the Beyond, and incorporate the original name in it. And now you have the game that you were going to create in the first damn place. And maybe people will come back and play that.
Is it still called Anthem?
No, call it Anthem Beyond.
Anthem still in the name, right?
Well, you kind of gotta do.
It's not gonna survive.
After all that setup, just because it's still called Anthem, somewhat, it's dead.
It's dead. No, dog. Come on now. What, Slomo? You really think the name Anthem means something to people?
Okay, look, they can't call it Beyond. Because that's the reason why
it Anthem either.
Anthem. All right, well, don't call it Anthem. Call it the Cataclysm. There we go.
Okay, there you go. Call it Cataclysm.
The Cataclysm. There, and so it's a whole new game. You start it over. If you bought Anthem before, our apology to you is you get this for free.
Our apologies to you.
And then you can still only have like a 30, 50 man team doing this because it's now looter. And so you don't need to have all these people doing all this extra stuff. You just have that small team work on it. I'm telling you, that will work. But this is EA, so you know it ain't happening. But I'm saying they should hire me because I got ideas, man.
You do. You got some ideas. They crazy as hell.
They crazy as hell.
You really think a game called Anthem was gonna make it? You crazy. That game is in the bushes forever.
No, look, all that stuff doesn't matter because we both know it's a wrap.
We both know EA ain't even about that no more.
Look,
they about
all EA is looking at this. We need how many developers to make Anthem next work? You want 90. Okay. That's 90 developer salary plus benefits. Working on for how long is this going to take? Okay. What is your assurance this is going to work? AKA, you're going to get all the players that bought the game, the 6 million people who bought the game, the vast majority of them to come back and convince new people to try the game out.
That just sounds like a lost cause.
It's a lost cause. It's not going to happen. And EA is one of those publishers that they don't take chances like that. They like safe bets.
Yep.
The safe bet is Mass Effect. The safe bet is Dragon Age 4. Anthem has already failed.
It sure has.
And at the level of failure it had, man, EA has closed down studios for less.
That's true.
So you should be happy that you're still here. You got a job.
That's true.
But we ain't making this. We're not doing. So you can go out and you can figure out some kind of apology to tell that community of people we don't care about to why you told them all this over the past year and it ain't going to happen. But hey, try our Dragon Age 4 coming out in 2 years.
You trying to... I don't even think you can convince people of that.
Yeah, look, it's a wrap.
At this point, everything that comes out with them is kind of suspect.
It should be. Even Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I mean, the fact. Look, listen, you made a whole dang video about why he heard about this game. I know more about the new Mass Effect from a screenshot than I know about the one that's getting ready to come out that they already made.
So. Yeah, Disney says, but Bioware also doesn't do Dragon Age or Mass Effect. They do Star Wars: The Old Republic. Hey, like some of those people can be folded into that too. But everyone's working from home now, so it doesn't matter what studio you're at. If you're living in Texas, but the team you're working with primarily are still in Edmonton, Canada, it doesn't matter. You're all on Zoom doing your meetings, and you're still checking in and checking out code and Perforce through your VPNs. So it doesn't matter that you're not in the same country anymore. I mean, hell, Moon Studios that does the Ori games, they have been a remote studio for their entire existence, and they're all over the world. So they've already been proven before this pandemic that it's doable. And now I think a lot of studios now realize, the way a lot of companies have now realized, hey, this remote working from home stuff really wasn't all that bad all this time. All this time we were so against our employees working from home, because we couldn't macromanage them and see them and make sure they were working. And it looks like here they are at home in their pajamas getting work done. And productivity is okay. And we saved money on expenses, on electricity, on water and all the other stuff of not having all these dirty, dusty mother effers in the facility. Excellent. Like, well, damn, people have been saying that for years, but y'all were too caught up in being old school. Where everyone's starting to see that you don't have to do that to work. I know people who work for companies, and they just like, yeah, after this is over, y'all gonna stay home,
right?
We're not gonna renew the lease on our suite. What for? We'll just rent out a suite when we need to get together for stuff like that. I've seen it. Multiple people who work in different industries have been finding that out. It's not saying that's a good thing due to the pandemic, but at least some positives can come out of this horrible situation.
No, it's always been I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that we're almost a year into this pandemic when it officially hit here. I think it hit here already at this point. Yeah, we started shutting things down.
It was around February where people was like, "Yo, this is pretty serious."
And then our president, our lame duck president was like,
it's just the flu.
It's just the flu. It's gonna come. It's gonna come, and it's just gonna fly away."
I've talked with people. I've got all the best doctors. I've talked to all the doctors. Everything's fine.
It's going to be here today. It's going to be gone tomorrow.
Anything at all. It's China's problem. It's never going to come here. Idiot.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to people in the chat. T-Rock 40, what's up, bro? Philly Eagle, what's going on, man? Our homie Meds, what's up, Meds? Driving Narrow, what's going on, man? Yeah, shout out to y'all. Thanks for rocking out with us tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, we got some more topics to get to. Let me go back to my list.
We got a list, y'all. Watch out.
Stop it. We talked about Boiler. So Square Enix has trademarked Ever Crisis. And not just the United States, but in Japan, Europe, Canada, and Australia. Also, the Owl Dragon Roars. I have no freaking idea what that's about. But Ever Crisis sounds like a remake of the what was it, Crisis Core? Was that what it was called back in the day?
Yeah, it was Crisis Core.
Which was about Zack. The I don't want to say more about Zack for people who haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake yet, but yeah, so it sounds like they're going to do that. And now I can't even talk about my theory because that would be a spoiler. But look, I think this is going to be a story that is about Zack specifically. What do you think?
You know, I was when you just said that, I was kind of thinking along the same thing, but the biggest thing is like why? Like what is
Why
the
what?
what would be the purpose of them? Jesus Christ, my kids are, this is what happens when everybody is packing and everybody wants to yell at each other in your house. Shout out to the Thomas family.
Just as long as there's no violence.
Did you oh she just came in and said, what would you say, Peyton? You said something?
Sorry, I'm just mad at my mom for technically saying I am absolutely not getting on my own PC instead of using yours for in a couple years. So that just sucks. You know my birthday's in July, right? And I have to wait for one entire year for my birthday to come. So y'all suck.
This is a roundabout way of saying that she wants you to get her something now. Yeah. Instead of waiting
that's
for
exactly
her
what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think overall when I was for me, it's like what would be the most like was the game big enough for them to
remake?
Yeah.
I mean if you play you finished remake, right?
Yeah, I finished remake.
Yeah. So how many hours did it take you? It took me probably about because I did everything. So like somewhere in the 30 to 40 hour range.
Yeah, it was about 28 to 32.
Okay, yeah. So I mean that's a full-fledged game. Yeah, now people get it all in the huff. It's not the full story. I'm like, but play the game and you will understand. You know what I'm saying? Why it's not a full story. You know, play the game. But
oh shoot, Solo getting in his bag.
I'm just saying, people always talk about games they don't play. You know, just like stop making yourself look stupid. Square Enix, they trademark Ever Crisis and The First Soldier, which is interesting. On December 17th. And then they also trademarked the Shinra logo on December 22nd. They did all that in Japan. And so then they trademarked Ever Crisis in Canada on the 18th of January and on the Shinra logo. Basically, they repeated all that in Canada in like mid-January. Then they also did Australia. And now this month in February, they've done the same thing. They got Ever Crisis trademark, but they haven't done the Shinra logo and the other crap yet. But that's probably coming. Now, maybe you could explain this. I can't remember. Do they normally trademark the names of things right when they start development, or is that like when it's closer to launch and you're transitioning from a project name to the actual name, and then you're going to actually show it off?
Okay, so let's think of a game like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy itself is trademarked already.
They didn't need to do anything. Yeah, that was trademarked.
Yeah, that's trademarked already. Now, what they end up calling it, you can't trademark a number. A number can't be trademarked because it's a number. So they don't have to really for something like Final Fantasy or something. They don't have to worry about.
They trademark a number with words. For example, Sony went on ahead and trademarked PlayStation 5, 6, 7, and then 8.
Yeah.
And just got it out of the way so that no one could try to like trademark that ahead of time.
That's what I'm saying, because even Final Fantasy, I think, does the same thing when it comes to because I know 15 and 16.
Hold up. We got to shout out the bro in the chat.
Who in the chat? I am looking at it. Let me look.
Erodimus is in the chat.
Oh Lord, here you go. Erodimus. What's up,
Erodimus? Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Erodimus is Erodimus, man. It's Erodimus, not Erodimus. It's Erodimus.
It's Erodimus, man.
Rodimus. So sometimes I think we just do this just because it's just part of the show now, just to say his name wrong. But no, I do think.
But we said it right.
No, you know what? Shut up, Soba.
Okay, go ahead.
No, but what I think is, I think the trademark always comes later. think about Xbox. They just trademarked. Remember, everybody thought the X and the S was a brand new system, but it was really them just trademarking the logo that they have on their cases when it comes to this deciphering.
Wait, hold on.
Games are what system?
Hold on.
Gaming addicts in the house.
What's up, Addict?
Addict said there's a huge roadmap for the Final Fantasy brand, which he would know because he is nothing but a Final Fantasy nut.
Yo, if you got something you can link to us, Addict, show it off to us so we can kind of go through that what this big roadmap is. But I wanted, he said he built this PC down. Remember last week with the 2080 Ti? Wait, what's the 20? What was it? What was the GPU that was it? I think it was 2080 Ti that he got like off of some black market
did it actually
website.
Come?
Yeah, hold it. He gotta let us know if he really got that GPU in that. Because if he got that GPU, I'm not too angry because I can talk about how I landed a 3070 a few days ago. So I'm kind of excited about that. I can pick that up on Sunday. But man, I would be somewhat upset if he actually really got that 2080 Ti. So
I need to know about that. So Erodimus, you need to tell us in the chat, man. Did you get the come up? Was that come up? Well, how much was that GPU?
It was $90. $90 for a 2080 Ti.
Oh
no. Melodic. What's up, Melodic? Melodic says I need a 3070. And look, Melodic, I got a 3070. I was just I was waiting on my doctor's appointment. I'm sitting there just looking at my phone. I'm on Twitter and I see Wario64's notification. Now, normally when he says, hey, they're live for something that I might be interested in, I look at the time of when he sent that tweet out. And if it's beyond 5 minutes, I don't even bother because I already know it's sold out. I don't need to look at the comments. I don't even need to click the link and get disappointed. I just don't bother. But Tuesday, he sent out the link saying Best Buy got all the RTX cards available right now. Try to get them as soon as you can. And I looked and I saw that tweet said 26 seconds. I was like, I might have to give this a shot. Why not?
Did you try for the 3080 or did you just settle for the 3070?
I tried for the very first one I clicked on.
He didn't even try to get a he didn't even go for the 37 or 3080.
When it's like that, you're very like when I got my PS5 from Lowe's. Shout out to Lowe's. When I got the Series X for my son from, where did I get that from? Was that from I got that from Best Buy. And when I got this 3070, all I did was the very first one I saw. I'm not going to waste seconds looking for the correct 3080. Oh, I want the EVGA one. Now bump that. Boy, I'm searching for the EVGA one. They're all getting sold out. So the very first 3070, when I clicked on the link, and it was just basically a search link for everything that was RTX 3000 series. And I went, as soon as I went past the pre-builts, the very first one available was the 3070 Founders Edition. I clicked it and I just started going. And yeah, I got it. I mean, of course, Best Buy does it best because they always have like two-factor authentication, and hey, send it to your, got to put in your cell phone number so they can send you a code to put back in, kind of like trip up all the bots and scripts out there.
Yeah.
I said Lowe's. I didn't get my PS5 from Lowe's. I got it from
I was letting it ride, bro.
Man,
I was letting it ride.
Lowe's was selling PS5.
I was letting it ride, bro. You just gonna let it ride. That's what I was doing.
In their PS5 bundle, get a PS5 and a rake. Get a PS5. And,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they got that.
They should. Every I'm pretty sure every store was thinking about jumping in on that. Hey, we can sell some of this crap that we can't get rid of. Here's the bundle. Here's PS5, but you gotta take all this stuff this inventory we can't move. Anyway, Yeah, I got the 3070. The whole time I was just like, man, it's not gonna go through. It's not, I'm gonna get told I'm sold out like right at the end, and it's just like boom, order placed. I was like, wow, cool.
So got a 3080. They had 3090s too, didn't they?
Yeah, but I heard from other people the 3090s went the quickest, and you would think with that price they wouldn't, but they probably
Were they
went
all
the quick.
Founders?
No, there was some other
Yours was a Founders though, right?
yeah, mine's the Founders. Now I think those all went faster because there aren't as many 3090s being made anyway. But
Right.
I got mine because there's probably gonna be a little bit more. I would have preferred the 3080, even though I would probably have to replace my PSU in order to make it work in my build. But I wasn't gonna go searching for it.
So, you.
Yeah, so I was like, man, nah, I'm just going to pick the first one. I'm fine with a 3070. A 3070 is better than my 2070 Super. I'm going to sell my 2070 Super on eBay. I'll be fair with the prices. I'm not going to scalp people. I'm going to be fair with it. And I'm going to sell it on eBay next week once I get the 3070 in. So, yeah. So, long story short, I got a 3070 melodic. I'll let you know how it works for me. Rodimus says that he bought a 1070 for now. 1070 is a good GPU. You know, of course, you don't get the ray tracing or the DLSS, but it's a solid GPU that still runs a lot of the current games very well right now, and it's temporary for you. Of course, once the GPU stuff gets better, then and because the supply for GPUs is worse than it is for a PS5 or Xbox right now. Once all that gets better, then you can go ahead and get what you really want and use that 1070 as a backup or sell it. I mean, I got a 1060 that I use when I got my GPU RMA. I still got that thing sitting in bubble wrap, but I got that as a backup so I can still play games while my stuff was getting fixed. So you do what you gotta do. Back on topic. So these games, Rodimus, we'll talk later, man. We'll talk later about that. Let's see. About the Square Enix trademarks. Maybe it's just me.
He definitely didn't get that 3080. He definitely didn't get that 3080.
What are you talking about?
Rodimus.
It was the 30. It was a 2080 Ti that he was trying to get. Anyway, I haven't seen this roadmap that Gaming Addict is talking about, but I'm kind of wondering because I don't know how many development studios Square Enix has. I know they've spun off a whole new development team, which is really unusual for Japanese publishers. They don't do stuff like this, but Luminous Productions is that's the studio that's doing Project Athia and Athia, whatever you want to call it, and they have like two teams within them, but I don't know how many teams within Square Enix there are, but I wonder if they are stretching themselves a little thin with this, or is there really like two additional games when you already are doing Final Fantasy VII Remake in parts, and you got Final Fantasy 16 coming out, and you still are doing or maintaining Final Fantasy 14? Just that's a whole lot. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is something they can actually handle?
No.
So what do you think they're doing?
And get Final Fantasy, and get the next version of Final Fantasy out in some decent amount of time?
Well, time. Does Square Enix really care about time? I mean, their history would say no.
How long do you want to wait for the next Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 to come out? How long do you want to wait for Final Fantasy Part 2 to come out?
I don't want to wait at all. I want that thing to be out at the latest next year.
Okay. Do you think that's a possibility after hearing this?
Yes, I still think that's a possibility.
So that's why I think this other thing is not a big deal, because I think this is just a another thing that they're just going to put on the back burner until they're done with the franchise that's going to make them the most money, and they're going to focus on that, and then they're going to work on this and whatever this actually is going to be. But I know it's kind of weird because you got to think it's like the same thing. It's not the same thing, but Ubisoft came out and said how they were talking about their games and stuff and how they're going to lean heavily into their revenue is going to come off their free-to-play games versus their AAA games and stuff like that, even though it really doesn't come off like they're just going to not make those type of games no more. Square, Final Fantasy is their gold mine, so they can technically do anything they want when it comes to that. People will actually wait for the remake to come out if you can get a Crisis Core remake in there, because Crisis Core is, in some people's eyes, some of the best stuff that they have in Final Fantasy. I just think overall it just comes down to, do they want to satisfy people with trying to finish this trilogy of games up? I mean, we don't even know how many games it's going to be when it comes to the remake date. So it's being speculated it could be 3. Some people saying it could be 5. Who knows? I really think it comes down to what that number is for them. If it is only 3, I definitely could see this Crisis Core game being something that they work on in the interim. And then the Final Fantasy 7 thing could be put on the back burner. Not really on the back burner,
but something just kind of hit me.
What's up?
Original Final Fantasy 7. Remember, it was 3 CDs.
It was 3 discs.
The first one ended after Cloud tells his story.
Yeah.
His backstory.
Yep.
That was all chopped and screwed, and not really how it really happened.
Yeah.
But that was immediately after. That happens immediately after you leave Midgar.
Yeah.
So that's the first remake game.
Well, I always thought that it was going to be in 3. I think most people that played Final Fantasy thought this was going to be a 3-game trilogy overall. I mean, how can you say a 3-game trilogy when it's one game?
It's still up in the air, because when that was asked to, I forgot which, it wasn't what's the guy's name? Nomura? Is that the guy that everyone hates from Kingdom Hearts? Can't remember who it was, but one of the lead directors was asked this, and he said that they hadn't decided on how many parts it's going to be. We still left it up in the air. I still do agree with you that it's probably going to be 3, because they ended this one very similar to where the first disc ended with the original game. I could see the second part being similar, but then at the same time, so much is going to be different.
I think Attic is right. Think about what they did in changing Final Fantasy 7's. Not the ending of the game.
Let's talk about why you think Attic is right. Gaming Addict says the Crisis Core will end different since Final Fantasy 7 Remake changed. That's why they're redoing it. And I agree 100% on that.
That's what I'm saying. I agree 100%, because I think part of Final Fantasy changing, like what they did in 7 Remake, is not only to just give fanfare to the people that enjoyed the original one, but to give people that never played it before something new that isn't nostalgic from what everybody keeps telling them it was about. It got all the people that loved the game to talk about it, say, yo, this was a ballsy move to change the way that this game basically went. And it was and they actually pulled it off. It was a good way. So they got the hardcore fans. I mean, not everybody was 100% in on it, but for the most part, everybody was like, yo, that was ballsy. And I really liked
people who actually finished it were liked how that turned out. They were floored, and they actually enjoyed it. Most of the people who are still against what they did are the ones who have been boycotting the game from the very start.
Exactly.
Never played it, or they were playing it and they quit because they said, what's up with these ghosts? This reminds me of Kingdom Hearts. This is the same thing. I can't stand this. Why they make my game like Kingdom Hearts? Maybe you should finish it and find out what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah,
because I did a video fully explaining all of that.
You did,
and it's very, very well done. But you have to get to the point close to where they invade the Shinra Tower, sections to really after the plate comes down to really know what that's all about, really.
Yeah, that game touched my soul. Aerith, yeah, ooh, touched my soul.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for. There was a rumor that I don't quite believe. I indulged it just for to get Twitter in an uproar. But there was a tweet. And I'm gonna go try to find this tweet that basically said that there is a Final Fantasy VII remake.
Addict said he wants to get in on this Final Fantasy thing.
He wants a link. You want a link, Addict? Like, we can get him in. Let me. I'm gonna send you a link, bro. To find Addict. Yeah. There was this link. This guy who he didn't say anything about where he got his information from, so who knows? But he's talking this stuff about how there is soon there's going to be a definitive edition for PS5, and then it's also going to come to PC. And then, but he didn't say anything about Xbox, even though we already know it's going to come to Xbox because there was that whole leak they did, which I don't think was a leak at all. I think it was planned on purpose. Sorry, we showed that when we shouldn't have, but it was more of a unofficial announcement to the Xbox community that you're getting this game too. Okay, so please don't, buy a PlayStation and buy it on there. But if you're like me, I'm playing it wherever I can play it the earliest. But regardless, anyway, this whole thing also said that this game wasn't going to Xbox because Square Enix is going to be acquired by PlayStation. So yeah, I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Well, I mean, look, that's interesting, and my whole thing was interesting in capital letters if true. And if it's true, cool. If you don't like that, you know what you need to do. You need to either build a PC or buy a pre-built or buy a PlayStation.
So let's get it. That's a good segue. So let's get into this whole rumor mill. Well, it's not really changing because I know Addict wants to talk about the Final Fantasy stuff when he finally gets in here. Yeah. But this whole rumor thing for the people that are upset, because I did see this. I was like, yo, why are you guys upset if Sony purchases Square? I'm seeing people talking about that's not good for gaming and stuff. And I'm like, y'all were saying this when Microsoft flipped the bill for Bethesda, and it's the same thing. It's like the only difference is everyone knows what Sony's going to do with Square's games. There's no thought even put into it. We know
it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation, and eventually it'll come to PC.
Yeah, and exactly. So for me, this is not a big deal because, like Slow-Mo just said, if you want to play something, there are ways for you to play those games. If you don't want to wait, like Slow-Mo said, you want to wait for Final Fantasy.
We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. Slow-Mo didn't want to wait for Final Fantasy VII to come to Xbox or PC, so he just went out and just bought a PlayStation, or he bought it on PlayStation to play it.
I already had a PlayStation.
And that's how it's going to be for
I've
all
had a PlayStation. I had the PS4 since 2015, but yeah, look. I wasn't going to wait. I would have preferred to play it on PC because I knew it would have performed better on PC, but I don't wait for game. If a game I want to play is out on one platform, like with the whole thing, but it's the same thing with Bethesda. Flip it, right? If they make all Bethesda's games exclusive, even though I don't care for Bethesda, but every now and then I may pick one up. For example, Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC. If I was a PlayStation only gamer, I'm picking up an Xbox to play that game if I want to play that game. It is what it is. Like, what are you gonna do? Complain on Twitter?
Yeah, I've never understood.
Don't change anything.
I've never understood people complaining about stuff like that. It's like, look, like at the end of the day, I said when Microsoft bought Bethesda, I was like, Sony got to acquire something, or they'll have the best games, but they won't input the most games. And
Right.
if they buy Square Enix, it's just like, see, what's really saved them is they know how to pick good second party titles. Like the Persona, the Neos. That's what's really helped them out. And it's just like
Bloodborne.
they already do enough with Square, so like it just makes the most sense.
Yeah. But it's that's why I don't believe the rumor, because I feel like what they've been doing has been a little bit more cost effective, yet still getting the same effect. They're paying for timed exclusive. They're investing in studios, like how they just invested a little bit into From Software. What that does is that get them a seat at the table, so they can see what From is working on. They can see it before Microsoft sees it or anyone else sees it, and then they can say, "Hey, look, that game's going to be something. We want to make that timed exclusive." They can do that before Microsoft even knows that game exists, before the game even gets brought to them to be licensed. They can already get that ball rolling. So that's a smart business on their side, and they don't have to acquire the entire studio and spend billions of dollars and yada yada yada.
Well, the thing is I'm pretty sure that that Square Enix is a publicly owned company, and that there's a lot more red tape to doing something like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because when those rumors were around about, Microsoft might buy Ubisoft, I was like, do they, like, it's not just like when you want to buy stocks to get the majority ownership of a company, if the people in the company that own the stock knows what you're doing, what you're trying to do, they can either A, not sell to you because they want the company to be in the way it is, or B, sell their stock at an unbelievable amount because they know what you want to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean that happened with Ubisoft a few years back, where they were fighting off that hostile takeover from, I can't remember the name of that company, but yeah, that company was trying their best to get majority share so they could take over Ubisoft, and Ubisoft was doing everything they could to fight that off. And actually, that was probably around that time period. They were really on their P's and Q's. It's like every game they dropped was like really good. It was like they were really up against the wall. Like we can't slip up. We can't make a mistake because if our stock falls because a game we just dropped bombed, it's a wrap for us. And they were able to Vivendi. Thank you, Darkside. It was Vivendi that was trying that.
I think another thing that I do hope that Sony buys Square Enix, because one thing, I'm buying a PlayStation for Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Remake 2 anyway. So like it's not gonna bother me. I'm gonna have the system that those games are coming out for. And two, let's be real here. There's a lot of people that are upset with Sony for the direction they went with their games. They don't really do the JRPGs like they used to, but they have Square Enix under their house that remedies that.
Yeah. It gives them a different genre that they don't have to actually fulfill, within their own first party. Yeah, I agree.
And then let's be real here. Besides like Final Fantasy, like the Dragon Quest games, these games pennies on the dollar to make.
You think so now? Now, because look,
Dragon Quest. I'm playing Dragon Quest 10 or 11, the one that just went to Game Pass. It's like the most recent one. That game don't look like it cost them a whole lot to me. It probably cost them more to market the game than it did to make the game.
I will freely admit this. I've never played a Dragon Quest game. I have zero.
This is the first one I've ever played.
Yeah. I actually did buy Dragon Quest 11, right? It was 11, right? Yeah, I did buy it on, but and then it's of course it showed up in Game Pass. But I don't. Back in the day, it was like you were either all in on Final Fantasy or you were all in on Dragon Quest, and I was definitely the Final Fantasy dude. So it was just like Dragon Quest, that playing that trash, even though I didn't know how good the game was or not. I just didn't care. But
I think it would be a good fit for them. I don't know. Maybe because they have such a good relationship with Square Enix, they'll be able to do that majority a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not easy to buy a publicly traded company like at all. That's why I think there's some truth to the Sega rumor with Microsoft, because ironically, all these rumors come up, and then Sega and Sammy, which Sammy's the publicly traded company, they split their finances. You don't do that unless you're about to sell Sega.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, they did do that. So tell us about this roadmap with Final Fantasy that you saw.
Well, it's not that I saw. I have a friend that worked closely with Square Enix. He didn't tell me a whole lot, but he told me that it goes more beyond than just like the Final Fantasy VII remake world. Like, he told me that they were doing something with Crisis Core, but it's not going to be what you think. That was like 3-4 months ago, huh?
A Division shirt. This got
What?
GameStop on it, man. I saw that GameStop on the shoulder, man. I can't get with that, man. I can't get jiggy with it.
I'll send it to you. So when you're playing Division, you can have a shirt. You want it?
We'll talk, man. We'll talk. Go ahead, Attic, man. Go ahead.
But I think what they're doing is, they got the lead dude. I can't pronounce Japanese names to save my life.
Yeah,
he's one of the people for Kingdom Hearts, and
I think it's Nomura. I think his last name is Nomura. I think
people don't like at this point, man. People in the chat, if I'm about to drop it, I'm sorry. Like, spoiler alert. Like, he kind of rewritten. He rewrote Final Fantasy VII, and people don't like that. And I was told, like,
is it really a rewrite, or did he? I think it's more of a sequel than a rewrite / remake. I think it's more of a sequel.
It's kind of both, because it's technically the original one, but the history was rewritten. So
yeah,
like at the beginning of the game, it definitely was like key for key, and people didn't know what the ghosts were. It turns out the ghost is fate, and they trying to make sure that the original thing goes exactly how it is.
Exactly, and then there's a reason why I like say that part where they attacked Jessie and they knocked her off the stairs, and she messed up her ankle, and then they just left because that was their goal, because Cloud was supposed to be on that mission. Cloud and Barry get into it. Cloud's not going on the mission. Now they're like, well, that's not how this is. You need to be on that mission so you can fall off the reactor and then fall into Aerith's church. So we gonna get Jessie out of here so that you have to do that. So it's And
if you want my opinion, I don't even think Sephiroth's gonna be the main antagonist of this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's not gonna be.
The way they ended that Final Fantasy VII remake, like that epic fight, that classic, the very end of Final Fantasy VII, they put that in that game. That screamed, "We're doing this once. You better like it, like right now."
Yeah,
I think you might have scuffles with Sephiroth, but I don't think he's the main antagonist. I think they're either going to bring Genesis back,
yes,
or Genova's actual, because Genova's an alien. People keep forgetting that Genova's not even from that world.
Yeah.
Who would have said that the domino effect happens and Genova? No, I'm not. I'm talking about Genova's home world.
I don't know if they're going that far though, because that would be. I mean, that would
at
be
the end of the
way
day,
in the
Slow-mo, like what else could they do? Like, if Sephiroth isn't the main boss, then I don't think he's going to be. I mean, you can bring back Genesis, but that's been done already. Like, are we gonna have another like civil war with Shinra? Like, okay, that's been done already. Like, First Class, that's been done already.
Yeah, and clearly with the way they ended it, that the fact the alternate timeline essentially with Zack isn't really a part of what is happening with Cloud and the crew at that time. So that's wherever Crisis is going to come up.
And I think that's the reason they make it, because at that time it was seen in the past, like they're showing, look, Zack didn't die here. Zack lived. And then this Eververse is going to be what's going to happen. It's pretty much going to be after Crisis Core. And instead of him dying, it's going to, I think this Crisis Core game, I don't think it's going to be a big project. I think it's going to come out between Final Fantasy Remake 2 and 3. And I think it's going to connect, because I don't think Zack's going to be in this game a whole lot.
No, I don't think so either.
This next remake game. But I think eventually Zack's going to be, I think in the Remake 3, whatever it is, because I don't know, obviously I have no fucking clue what they're doing. But
yeah, I think they got a plan, like a rough plot line of where they want to go with the story. but I think it's so different than what we are expecting. Like people thinking, oh well, I know how many parts it's going to be because I played the
No, you
original
don't.
game.
You don't have any idea.
Right.
This game could literally have one more game. We don't know.
Yeah.
And the thing is like they kind of Kingdom Hearts this game. So
here's my theory.
Them going
I think
into
Aerith
another
is going to
dimension.
live. I think Aerith.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah, I don't think
she's
gonna
definitely not going to die the way she did in the original game, and I think she knew during.
I can definitely tell you that.
Yeah, I think she knew during this remake that she was supposed to die. I think the live stream told her where because it's part of the reason why Sephiroth is even there doing what he's doing anyway, right? So I think
there's a huge conspiracy. This Sephiroth is a future Sephiroth. He's not even the same Sephiroth.
I believe that theory. I think he is future
because if
Sephiroth
you look at
already lost.
If you look at the character model of the Sephiroth he fought at the end, that's the having children Sephiroth. That's not regular Sephiroth.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think this is Sephiroth who's trying to change his fate, and
because he knows he lost.
Yeah. He knows he lost.
Honest with you,
yeah.
I don't even think it's like that. Like he goes in there, he says, "There's something going to happen, Cloud, and I'm gonna need your help." To me, that's not trying to change your fate. Why would he need you? Kill Cloud and the people, you clap them, it's over. You won. Like. Those are the people that kill you. Why would you need Cloud unless it's something else that Sephiroth cannot handle and he needs them on his side?
What if he's already gone back and did that? What if he already went back and killed Cloud and then it didn't turn out the way he thought it would? And so now he went back again so that he instead of killing you this time, if you remember on my side because
if you remember correctly, the ghost showed up the very first time at the very beginning of the game. And Sephiroth was not supposed to be in the entire first game.
Right. He didn't show up.
But he was at the beginning, and you saw that glow thing, and then I think that's when he showed up from the future and he went back to the past.
Yeah. I think because in the original game, he didn't show up until you're in the jail cells in Shiver Tower and there's the massacre all through the tower. You follow the blood all the way up to the president,
and you find his sword.
Yeah, which really wasn't even really Sephiroth. That was one of his clones anyway. But I think, yeah, you're right. The reason why the ghost showed up then is because he showed up way too early and started kind of like luring Cloud.
Because him and Cloud were never supposed to talk there.
Yeah, right.
That's why they were trying to separate them. Because if you remember, Sephiroth talked to Cloud for a couple seconds, and then when you want to talk to Aerith, she stayed around too long, and that's when the ghost shook them apart.
Yeah, because it was like, look, you supposed to be going off in the opposite direction at this point. Yeah, the ghosts are always trying to keep things along the timeline that they were in the original game, and they don't like that that there are people who have used the live stream to then try to influence certain things. I think Aerith is also trying to influence things too,
because if you remember,
she knows how she dies, and she wants to change that because she wants to live too.
There's actual people who believe that the story's going to be the same. I'm like, you clearly didn't play the last fight when you fought the Hellbird. Literally, every time you did damage to him, he shot the memories from the original Final Fantasy back in your head. Like, there would be no reason to tell you that shit.
Yeah.
Because when they saw the meteor hit Earth, like they all were like, "Is that did that really happen?" Like, and there's like, "No, we're seeing a future that hasn't yet to be."
Ooh, sorry, Luca. Sorry, I forgot that Luca hadn't. I didn't know Luca was still listening. Yeah, that was some spoilers.
When was she gonna play the game?
But she said she was going to get started with it pretty soon. I did remember talking to her about it, but more than likely she's going to. Luca doesn't have the
But to be honest with
that
you,
we
Luca,
have with this game, so she's probably going to forget everything.
If you don't play Final Fantasy VII, the original one, you wouldn't even know what we're talking about.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like she's probably going to forget everything that we're talking about anyway, and she probably won't really quite understand.
Because you had to have that knowledge of what happened in the original time. That's why if you go and look at a lot of reactions to the ending, a lot of it went over a lot of people's heads because they never played the original.
Yeah, I agree. I guess we could go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate you coming through, Addict. You know, we could talk Final Fantasy for another hour, huh?
I said Dizzy said spoiler cast. Apparently, I don't condone the actions of the two people on this podcast.
Look, man, it's been a minute since that game came out.
I'm with you, but I kept my mouth shut.
Look, I mean,
you didn't stop it either. You're complicit, sir. You're complicit.
No, not really.
Yeah.
You did add to the conversation. We're not going to act like you didn't.
I didn't. What did I say? Nothing. You said
a whole lot of stuff, sir. You said a whole lot of things.
When we were talking about the air thing, you was like, "Yeah, I don't think she is either."
Yeah, you did a lot of agreeing. So you're like I said, you're complicit, bro.
Listen, all I said is air this bay. That's all I said.
Yeah. I can't wait for the next gen upgrade for PS5. So I want to play through it again with that.
I don't think it's coming for Xbox.
I think it still is. Remember last year where there was that box art of Final Fantasy VII Remake with the Xbox box art that was shown that was quote unquote leaked accidentally. And then the Xbox marketing team apologized for it. I think they did that crap on purpose. But like, if you're never getting the game, if you don't have a license, you haven't given a license to Square Enix to make the game on your platform, why do you even have that box art? Because it wasn't a fan-made thing. So I think it's coming. And I think they did it on purpose because they wanted people to know it was coming, but they couldn't say it officially because they're not allowed to. But yeah, I think it's coming eventually. But let's get on up out of here. Appreciate everybody that came through. Shout out to the 28 people that's still watching us, and apologies to some of you who heard spoilers. More than likely, when you get through the game, you're not even gonna remember half the stuff we said, so don't worry about it. But Addict, thank you for coming through, man. Let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at LordAddict.op.
Just Twitter? Don't you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict.
Cool. Forte, what do you got planned for the next week? Are you gonna finally drop a video, sir?
Actually, yes, tomorrow after I get settled into the new digs. Your boy will do that. And he's on vacation all next week, so you'll be doing a lot of other stuff too, so be on the lookout for that. But I'm just ready for this project to be over with, honestly.
Project, which is AKA moving into that house.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, man. I'll let you know. It's never really going to be. Never really.
No.
It's not over.
No.
People you don't move in and like open every box. It's going to be a year from now, and they're going to be boxes that you have packed up that you'll be just opening.
Listen, man, we were just talking about it, and she was like, we're gonna be busy for the next week. She said, I was like, I can't wait for vacation to start tomorrow. She said, vacation? I was like, oh Lord. She's like, you can rest on one day, all the rest of them you working. So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff coming out. I'm tired. I worked 9 days in a row, so I can have this weekend off and then take vacation. So I'm a little spent, but overall, man, great show.
Yawning into the mic. Both of y'all are
Listen,
addict trailing off in the middle of his sentence. You yawning in the mic. Let me go ahead and plug this correctly. No, it's too late. You had your opportunity. It's too late.
No, I'm not done.
You were done. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, sir.
Listen,
go check out Gaming Forte's channel. Gaming Forte does great videos. His video editing is better than mine. He just doesn't say words correctly sometimes, so you're just gonna have to ignore that. But check out his channel. He's going to drop a video tomorrow. Don't know what it's on, but I guarantee you it's going to be good. Check him out. Sub to his channel if you haven't already. Do that. Sub to Gaming Addict's channel. Addict does the same thing. He makes really great videos. I like his thumbnails too. They're awesome. He's asleep right now, but don't worry about that. When he does his videos, he's got tons of energy. Also, shout out to the podcast he's on, Iron Lord's Podcast, Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. I think that was better than what you guys did. And
yeah,
as for myself, I got a few more videos coming out. I dropped one today. I dropped the one 2 days ago. I got a couple of videos in the pipeline, as well as just some other like little projects that I'm working on that very similar to like the video I dropped today about Snowdrop Engine. So look out for those. You guys have a great evening. Yeah,
have a play the SpongeBob song at the end of the podcast. You said you were going to play it.
Forte, what drugs you been taking, man? What are you talking about? What SpongeBob song?
You know, the one that was off the movie where SpongeBob screaming into the abyss with the hat on and
yeah, okay. Like, see you completely dreamed the scenario.
You know,
this is terrible. Good night, y'all. Y'all have a good
one. Wait.
What else you gotta say?
Hold on.
You want to tell us about the magical unicorns that you looking at right now? What we doing? What we doing?
They do look really good right now. You're right about that.
Okay, so what are we holding up for?
Listen, I want to say something to our how many people we got watching right now?
23 people who are really confused right now.
No, there's 23 amazing people. Shut up, Slomos. Don't be saying they're confused. They're still here because of us.
You were confusing them. I didn't say they weren't amazing. I said they were confused.
And probably 5 of them are here because Addict. So Addict, thank you. Addict, thank you for coming through and gracing us with your lordship. We really truly
lordship. Is that what we're calling this now?
Yes, that's what we're calling this now. What are you eating? Are you eating? Are you at work?
Who, me?
Yes.
No, I'm doing paperwork. Calm down.
Are you at work now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sound like he. Okay. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. Really, truly appreciate you. And your boy gonna get back to work. Just to let you know, because I miss making videos, but there was no freaking way in God's green earth that I was going to be able to make a video this week. And guess what? Cognito, I see you in the chat. I haven't even played Destiny this week, bro. It's terrible.
That's actually a good thing.
You're going to have to get me caught up on what the heck's going on.
That's actually a great thing. We need more of that. Maybe you should stay busy so that you can get this drug out of your system. I don't know.
Well, what am I going to replace it with?
Huh?
What am I going to replace it with?
Good games. Okay, so yeah, all right. For the third outro, we are out.
No, wait, Iron Lord's Podcast says Season the Chosen.
Good night.